Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So if you are here to find out what exactly is happening right now with price action of Bitcoin and also what kind of scenario to expect next, then you are definitely at the right place, because in this video I am going to show you some very interesting price movement that could be unfolding next in the immediate short term and also in the upcoming days. So without wasting any time, let's jump into the content, because if you have watched my video from yesterday, I talked about this rising trend line and why the support at this rising trend line is so important for Bitcoin, because we have seen, guys, this similar price movement when the price of Bitcoin was holding the support from the rising trend line, and once the support got broken, right, you can see we had this bigger price retracement. And now if we look at the price action of Bitcoin also here in the immediate short term, you can see we are holding the line, this rising trend line, and this rising trend line around 39 to 40,000 is the most important line of support for Bitcoin, which we are not allowed to break, because we know breaking the support from this rising trend line led to a bigger pullback, right? You can see a bigger pullback, so we don't want this similar scenario to happen as well. So that's why this support around 39 to 40,000 is a must hold support line for Bitcoin. And the reason why this support is so important is because not just only the rising trend line, also if you look at this price movement using this ascending channel, which we have been talking since days, because we know this ascending channel lower line was also a very strong line of support, and each and every time the price of Bitcoin showed this retracement after finding support at this rising trend line, we saw some really nice relief rally type of scenario playing out. So that's why if this is also going to be a similar price movement where the price of Bitcoin after breaking this middle line also gets approached or attracted towards this upper line area of this ascending channel, then we have to overcome some obstacle which is being placed right now for Bitcoin. So for that, I have to show you guys something very interesting playing out here in a 4-hour time frame, because if you take this Fibonacci retracement from this swing high till this swing low area where the price of Bitcoin after finding support around this 44,000 range saw this relief rally, and as you can see, this relief rally never got an opportunity to close above this 0.618 Fibonacci line, and after that we saw this bigger price retracement, because we know that happens in most of the cases when we are forming dead cat bounce type of price formation. And now what we are going to do, we are also going to take this Fibonacci line from this swing high till this swing low area. You can see exactly, guys, the price of Bitcoin after getting approached around this 0.5 Fibonacci line got a rejection, and now we are still showing this consolidation. So if the price of Bitcoin wants to show an actual movement here to the upside, invalidating this dead cat bounce scenario, then here in the immediate short term and also in the upcoming days, we have to overcome this obstacle which is being placed between this 41,000 to 42,000 range. So if we do manage to break this resistance and flip it into support, then we could be starting this new impulsive movement. I'm not going to be very bullish, but I still think the price of Bitcoin could see a bigger retracement. If the price of Bitcoin manages to break out of this 0.618 Fibonacci line, then between 43 44 is where we could be getting gravitated. So for this to happen, first we have to overcome our obstacle around this. Let me delete this one here. So that is around 43 to 44,000 price range, because right now, let's suppose if the price does manages to break out of this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line, then here around this area we could be forming so-called failure swing bottom, because according to the failure swing bottom, if you look at this price movement after this retracement, right, after this retracement, just like as shown in the example, we saw this relief rally, price was not able to break out of the 0.5 Fibonacci line, got a retracement like just like here. And now if this is going to be a slow move, again approaching around this 0.5 0.618 Fibonacci line, then you can see breaking the line it's not just only invalidating the dead cat bounce formation, but also starting a new move which is known as failure swing bottom. And after breaking this neckline, or after breaking out of this 0.5 to 0.618, we could be starting this new impulsive movement from here on. So that's why, guys, we will be monitoring this price movement very closely, and we want the price of Bitcoin also to break out of this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line. And beside this, what I also want to include in today's video is this weekly chart, because according to this weekly chart, since today it's a Sunday and we also want this weekly to anyhow close above this yellow line, because this yellow line, which is a 14.59 Fibonacci line, is around 40,500 or 40,600 range. So if the weekly somehow manages to close above it, then there is also a probability that this price here is also going to break out of this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line and slowly show this relief rally here towards this 44,000 range. But if we do, right, close below this 14.59 Fibonacci line today, this weekly candle, right, this candle, then we have to be extremely careful, because the next possible support is this blue line, and this blue line, as you can see, which is 9.02 Fibonacci line, this is lying around 37,000 price range. So that is also the reason today the weekly must close above 40,500, 40,600 range, and in the daily or in the immediate short term, we want the price of Bitcoin to overcome this obstacle around this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line. And beside this, what I also want to include in this video is this one scenario, which is actually pointing out the price of Bitcoin. The strength here is weakening, because we know in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we have seen this crossover happening where this 50 exponential moving average crosses over this 20 exponential moving average, after that we usually see this price retracement. But to confirm this movement, what I've always said, look for this MACD, RSI and T3CCI indicator, because if you look at this one here, for example, when the bearish cross happened right around this area, you can see when we had this bearish crossover, what also happened here below, MACD was clearly a bearish MACD, RSI line was below 50 level, T3CCI in a negative territory. And right now this crossover, what is happening or what is unfolding right now, as you can see, where this red line, which is a 50 exponential moving average, crossing above this 20 exponential, which is considered as a bearish scenario. And if you look here to the downside, MACD is already a bearish MACD. RSI line is below 50 level and T3CCI in a negative territory. So that is the reason I'm warning you guys, please do not over leverage, because you can see the indicators are also flashing us that the strength here is weakening, right? So that's why unless the price of Bitcoin is not going to close above this 0.5 to 0.618, maybe we could see some fake out and price still continue this movement here to the downward direction. So that's why all eyes are going to be around this weekly candle, which is not allowed to break below this 40,600, 40,500 range. So these are some of the interesting scenarios that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and also for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.